here we are, the start of a new week, Monday, October 13th, 2025. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. The show was awesome Friday night at the Mountain America Center. In this moment, Day Seeker, The Funeral Portrait, and Dead. Oh man, what a great little ending to our concert season for officially here in the area. I mean, we do have the Trans-Siberian Orchestra coming at some point in November. I think it might be November 20th, if I'm not mistaken. That might be on the concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com, which I don't have pulled up right now. But yeah, I think that's it for rock shows here in the area. I mean, there's still so many shows coming to Boise and Salt Lake City, which you can also find on our concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. There's also the shortcut to it via the K-Bear, Alt, and Cannonball 101 apps. You click on concert calendar, it'll take you directly to it. I still plan on going to one more show. Salt Lake City, the Complex, Saturday, November 8th. Set It Off, Fame on Fire, Vana, and The Pretty Wild. That's a pretty cool lineup. I really want to go to that show. So hopefully that can happen to a weekend trip to Salt Lake City. This weekend for me was nice, actually. My back is healing up, thankfully. I've heard from tons of people, go to the doctor. It was so bad Friday morning, and I can tell you, it was so bad Friday morning that I was contemplating not even coming in. Like, it was bad. I wasn't really able to walk. I was walking like some sort of gorilla with my hands on everything because I wasn't able to support myself, my back legs. And today I'm more so, I don't know why I'm making this comparison, but today I'm more so walking like Mr. Sir of the movie Holes, John Voight. He has like that stiff walk to him. Justin from 105 The Hawk sees me walk down the hallway and he teases me about it. It's just for some reason a back injury that I sustained from, I don't know what. But it was luckily not too bad at the show either. For some reason earlier that morning it sucked, but later that day wasn't too bad. I was able to stand there for all four bands, able to also go up on stage and talk to everyone. That was a fun time. If you want to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. Peach's Pip Party will continue here in just a few on K-Bear 101. You know who gets tossed around more than radio DJs? Sports coaches. Just coaches in general. Football, basketball, baseball managers. They all get thrown around, but unlike radio DJs, they get paid quite a lot of money. The head football coach of Penn State, he took them to the playoffs last season. He just got fired for losing 3 games in a row. But get this, don't feel sorry for him. His name is James Franklin, and Penn State is going to pay him nearly $50 million. Isn't that insane? Like, you're getting paid and you don't have a job. The school owes him that much money. More than $49 million going to one singular dude. It's crazy that the Penn State football Twitter page posted, "Thank you for everything, Coach James Franklin," and even put an image. Like, I feel like that's adding insult to injury. You get fired from a job and they still give you a thank you post on social media. I mean, could you imagine having no job and you just make $50 million over the course of, I don't know how many years. I think it goes until 2031. I think 2031 is when he'll receive his final paycheck from Penn State. Isn't that absurd? You wouldn't have to work again. You're done. This guy's older. This could easily be his retirement fund. Just travels around, was a football coach for most of his life. I mean, I don't feel sorry for him in the least bit. You might want to take this into consideration the next time you go to buy a new car, whenever that will be. I meant to talk about this last week. I think it popped up on like Thursday. That birds like to poop on these types of cars. Ram, Jeep, and Chevy. And is it Chevy or Chevy? Chevy. Chevy cars, Ram, Jeep, and Chevy are the most frequent bird-dropping targets. Brown, red, and black vehicles attract more mess than lighter colors. Quarter of the U.S. drivers spend $500 annually on car washes or repairs related to bird poop. Parking under cover or using a car cover can save hundreds each year. Luckily, I have a covered parking spot at my place. I know, oh, good for you, Peaches. But when I park here, I have a dark gray Santa Fe. And there's a particular pole I avoid parking close to because every single time I park there, magically, there's a big surprise mess all over the windshield, sometimes even the roof, maybe even the door. That used to be a huge problem back when I was in middle school. Not necessarily birds pooping on my car, but there was a lot of seagulls at my middle school. And schools in California, they're not all indoors. They're all outdoors. It was kind of baffling to me when I first moved out here seeing schools that were all indoors. You know, the lockers are outside in California. I mean, the weather difference, I totally get it. But it also has its cons being outside with all the birds that were flying around because, you know, middle schoolers eating lunch, tons of kids with food outside. The seagulls are like, oh, yeah, jackpot. Let's see if we can find a whole bunch of scraps. And sure enough, they do. So that's why they keep coming back in droves. But they used to poop everywhere. And I remember one time, it was like St. Patrick's Day in 7th grade. One of my friends had one of those 4-leaf clover cookies. He was about to take a big bite. You can tell that this bird just full-on targeted that cookie. Right on it. Plop. Right as he almost put it in his mouth. I was pooped on by birds plenty of times. Plenty of times. There was my shoulder, it sucks. It's one of the worst things. And also make sure to get it off your car early so that way it doesn't, you know, the acidity of it ruins your paint. Luckily, we have the Pony Express pass. So that way, anytime the birds like to, you know, pick on me one day, I'll just go right to the car wash down the street and get it right off. Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. Finally, over the weekend, we watched one horror movie. I forgot what we originally tried watching. Might have been, what was it? I'm losing my train of thought here. Well, we went to, was it HBO Max? Yeah, we used my girlfriend's HBO Max. And no, it might have been Prime Video. I don't know. I forgot the whole details of this. These don't matter anyway. And we ended up watching 2017's It with Bill Skarsgård. And she overall didn't like it whatsoever. And I was just thinking, I'm like, you know what? I might need to do this horror movie marathon alone here just because she hasn't liked any of the horror movies recently, which is, I mean, people are entitled to their own opinion, what movies they want to watch, etc. Right? And I've been dying to see The Lawn Walk, and she doesn't want to see it. So now I got to find the time to watch it myself. And I think it's already too late. It might be heading to streaming here soon, which at some point I will watch The Lawn Walk. I do need to watch way more horror movies because we only have 17 days, 18 days left of October. And we watched one movie this month, It, which I've already seen before. I've watched both It movies. They're fantastic. I love them. I haven't seen the original Tim Curry It, but to me, I feel like that's so old and so outdated and not the same that I'm just like, okay, no, I don't need to watch that. I can skip over that one. I did upload that list in the K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group that of the best horror movies of 2025. There is one that she wanted to watch, which I'm shocked by. It's this movie called The Ugly Stepsister. And it's the Cinderella story from the point of view of one of the ugly stepsisters, and she tries everything she can to alter her body to be as pretty as she can be. And it's this whole like body horror type movie where I feel like that would be way more grotesque and weird and gory compared to The Lawn Walk. But who knows? I'm going to watch both. All right, eventually I'll watch The Lawn Walk. I got to see it. It seems like such a great movie, and it's been getting rave reviews, and I've been meaning to get to it. Maybe at some point this week I'll finally be able to do so. Let's go with 3 Days Grace, Kill Me Fast on K-Bear 101. The annual NBA General Manager Survey is out, and the heads of the 30 teams expect a repeat of recent success. They believe that Denver Nuggets superstar Nikola Jokic, who won the MVP award in 3 of the last 5 seasons, will win it again this season. They also expect the Oklahoma City Thunder to repeat as champions. Last year, the GMs tabbed Victor Wembanyama as the best defensive player in the league with 40% of the vote. This year, he received 80% of the vote. And for the 6th year in a row, Eric Spoelstra was selected as the best coach in the NBA. Chicago star Angel Reese is adding Victoria's Secret model to her resume. She'll be walking the runway at the upcoming Victoria's Secret fashion show on Wednesday in New York City. It'll be the first time a professional athlete will walk the runway in the iconic fashion show, so there's that going on for her. The Cleveland Browns have been having quarterback issues for years, and nothing is a bigger sign of that than how they're paying for that position. The Browns have $41.65 million allocated to 8 different quarterbacks on their salary cap, but just $2.37 million of that is for active players. Those active players are Dylan Gabriel, $1.1 million, Shedeur Sanders, $955,000, Bailey Zappi, $315,000. Deshaun Watson is on the physically unable to perform list because of an Achilles injury and gets paid $36 million. The dead cap hits are for Jameis Winston, $2.2 million. The just traded Joe Flacco for $999,000, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, $171,000. And Kenny Pickett, a low $8,000. That sucks for that guy. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. I was reading here the news about how Gordon Ramsay is opening up this new gastropub in downtown Disney. Downtown Disney is one of those places where if you can't afford a ticket to Disneyland, that's the next best place to go. Just go to all those different shops. It's literally right next to Disneyland. It's almost like torture when you go there. I remember taking some trips there when I was a teenager. My parents would be like, hey, we're not going to go to Disneyland, but we're going to go to downtown Disney. You like Rainforest Cafe? And I'd be like, yeah, I love it. I still do like Rainforest Cafe. I wish they still had those. I think there's like 8 of them left. I watched that YouTube video of that one guy with his friend where they traveled to every single Rainforest Cafe in the country. I wish I was with them on that trip. That'd be cool. Anyway, yeah, Gordon Ramsay's opening up a new gastropub in downtown Disney. And I was texting about it with my friends, Matt and Jose. I was just like, yeah, I can't wait to, buy a $25 burger at this place. Has no side. So you have to order the quote unquote truffle fries for like the low price of $7. And they also only sell craft beverages. That's another reason for them to charge you like $4 with no refills for potentially like a microbrewed root beer or something like that, And then you also have to order at the counter plus tip. But the burger is Mickey shaped. So that's the whole point of the fun, right? I just saw that news and decided to go on a rampage to my friends on the group chat. I was like, I need to share this on the air. Anyway, let's continue with our K-Bear Rockin' Halloween, haunted by Jew City Vapor. It's Alice Cooper, Feed My Frankenstein on K-Bear 101. I was taking a look at our YouTube channel, K-Bear 101 RMG. Make sure to check it out if you haven't done so already. I've been uploading every single interview that I've done so far or done recently. Maybe I should go back into the archives and maybe find my old conversations with other artists and re-upload those like what I was doing for a short amount of time. I re-uploaded my interview with Lizzie Hale. It sucks because on our old YouTube channel, that interview had like 11,000 views. And now it has like 70 because we had to delete that one, put it on this new one. Again, K-Bear 101 RMG. The latest interview that I have on there is from The Funeral Portrait, of course, with The Funeral Portrait. Those guys were awesome. Talked about, we kind of picked on Cody, one of the members of the band, because he can't swim, he can't snap. We talked about one of the band's stories when it came to him almost drowning in a river, so there's that. And then they did a little 3-song acoustic set, which was quite nice. It was quite cool just to watch them right there in the room perform Dark Thoughts, Suffocate City, Holy Water. I was going to request Pink Pony Club, but I didn't want to be that guy. But at the same time, you want them to do a song that they haven't done ever. And I wish they would do Pink Pony Club because the whole running joke with that band that someone called them the Pink Pony Club, insert explicit word here, band. And then The Funeral Portrait just made a whole like merch line out of it. Somebody called him Zesty. Lee Jennings of The Funeral Portrait. One of the haters online called them Zesty, and that became a whole thing. When I was on stage at the Mountain America Center, I told Lee I wanted to call them the zestiest band this side of the Mississippi, but I just Unfortunately, did not, for whatever reason, just didn't do so. I should have done that. Should have. But yeah, there's that interview. There's the Jack from Dead Poet Society interview. There's Hollywood Undead. There's Bert Kreischer, Chad Gray of Mudvayne, plus many more on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. K-Bear 101 RMG. As part of our K-Bear Rockin' Halloween, Haunted by Juice City Vapor, The Dahmers Cut Me Down, 2 Halloweenish tracks every hour, nonstop Halloween music on Halloween. Going to be a fun time. We are 18 days away from the spookiest night of the spoopy season. And then we got Thanksgiving, then Christmas, and then 2025 is over after that. Quite crazy, right? This year has flown by. I mean, here's the thing. It's weird how everybody kind of perceives time very similarly. Like, if you thought Monday lasted a long time, there's quite a few other people that will agree with you. And at the beginning part of the year, January felt like forever. So did February. And then it started to get quicker as time went on. All of a sudden, now we're the middle of October, and we're going back to the, good old winter time. Oh, boy. Not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to that. What was the point of this break again? I forgot exactly. I was talking about our Halloween music. Oh, yeah, we got the haunted passports for 4 different haunted attractions here in the area. If you want to win one of these, you just got to listen out for that scream tone. Now, the scream tone is very specific. There's been some confusion. There's been some screams in commercials and such. Don't listen for that. If you hear just a scream, it could be anything. But if you hear like a scream and then call now, that's the scream tone. Not right now. I'm just giving you the example. I wish I could play it for you, but I don't necessarily want to play the scream tone and then not give away a prize. Maybe I will here in just a little bit. But yeah, listen for that scream tone. Thanks to Wackerly Auto Center and Minuteman Services for helping us out with our Haunted Passport giveaway, getting you into 4 different haunted attractions. We got Idaho's Haunted Hospital in St. Anthony. We got the Lost Souls attractions in Shelley. Got the Haunted Mill in Teton. And we got the Slaughter's Realm in Blackfoot. That's right. So there's that for you. Listen for those scream tones, B-Color 13, when you hear that scream tone to win those haunted passports. This is one of my very few boomer takes, and we've talked about this quite some time, or for quite some time. Cell phones at concerts. Now, I, for one, don't necessarily care for my cell phone being out at the concert. I'll get like a quick video, maybe, of a cool moment, put it away, watch the rest of the show, right? I'm not going to be out there with my phone in hand the entire time, or maybe I'll take like a selfie with someone, that type of thing, who knows? But I just watched this video that says no amount of dopamine will ever compare to the feeling of seeing Sleep Token's curtain drop for the first time. For this Even in Arcadia tour, they started out with that song, Look to Windward, and it has that part where the scream comes in, and sure enough, the curtain drops, and the stage is quite beautiful. I wish I saw it in person, but Victor took those Sleep Token tickets and saw them a third time, and I have never, ever, ever seen that band ever live, and I desperately want to. The Even in Arcadia tour sold out within like a minute, and there was no tickets for anyone, really. It's quite impressive. They just wrapped it up yesterday. They had the final date in Los Angeles, and that was it. I'm sure they'll announce some other tour soon. And as Victor said this morning, I truly don't know. We all truly don't know what venues they'll choose because, I mean, they're so big. They might be able to go to like the Rice-Eccles Stadium and fill up those 80,000 seats. The Rose Bowl, that place too. Madison Square Garden for sure. But going back to this video, it's everybody recording the exact same moment of the concert. Everybody has their phones out. And, people get so upset by Ghost banning phones at their shows now. Tool, always been banning phones at their shows. But I, for one, think that's cool. I think it's a great idea. One of the most boomer takes that I have. No cell phones at a show. Which I also think is great at, local shows, too. Just because, well, every single time I go to a show, like at the Mountain America Center, there's always that one or a few people that always take a picture of like the worst possible angle. And they always go, look, I found peaches, guys. Found them. Or they'll take a picture of the whole pit area. And it's like, you can obviously see me. And then it goes like, oh, try to find peaches in this photo. That's funny, right? Ha ha. That type of thing. Jade possibly took one of the worst pictures of me at the In This Moment show. He, for some reason, snuck up behind me and took a picture of me looking down. And I was like, why do I look like a thumb? I turned around and yeah, Jade like slithered away. He wasn't even close, but he said something like, thanks for blocking my view. Something along the lines of that. It was pretty funny. Anyway, let's continue here with our K-Bear Rockin' Halloween, haunted by Juice City Vapor. Poppy with spit. I came across this thread that's very interesting, and I have my own personal answers to it. What's a question that sounds innocent, but in actuality is offensive? Now, the top one says, I'm a first responder, and when people find out, I get asked, what's the worst thing you've ever seen / the worst call you've been to? And then he goes on to say, they're trying to make conversation. I get it. The worst call I've been to haunts my dreams. I don't want to talk about it with you. Another person wrote, I used to work as a 911 dispatcher, and the amount of random people that would ask me if I ever listened to someone die astounded me. Like, thanks, I really wanted to relive that right now in the grocery store. And they never really seemed to realize how messed up that question was. They were always so morbidly cheerful about it. Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, you get to see stuff that most people don't get to see, right? I get it. But at the same time, you got to just, I don't know, come up with better questions. You don't know how many times I get asked the question, working in radio, so did you like go to school for that? And just the way that people say that, it kind of sounds like my job's a hobby, or it should be a hobby and not necessarily a full-on thing, you know? Did you go to school for that? It almost sounds like, did you waste time at a university going to school to learn how to do this? It's like my degree overall is stupid. Cinema and television arts. But it's helped me work at TMZ, get to here, have an internship at iHeartMedia. You know, most of my classes were indeed silly. Nothing compared to going through something like, I don't know, your medical degree, something like that. I appreciate those who do go through the extra schooling, medical school, all of that. There's a lot of tough jobs out there, and I'm glad people can fill them because, I don't know, that question rubs me the wrong way. And then there's also like, you know, what else is there for radio? I mean, there's so many. I was going to make a video at one point of me talking about the various questions I get asked. And I was going to make it more so like a video where I'm teasing people that ask that. But at the same time, it could be a great like learning thing. I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll upload it. Start off with that question. Did you go to school for radio? Or do you sit there and just talk between the songs? No, there's a whole lot more to it than just that. Maybe I'll upload that to our TikTok. Follow us, KBear 101 FM. What is your most controversial take when it comes to candy? Today, stupidly, is National M&M Day. No, not the rapper. M&M, the candy. 'Tis the season of candy. You know, everyone has their favorite M&M flavor. So there's this website, parade.com. They've taken on the very tough task of ranking the top 10. Should we count down here, really? Should we do something like this? Caramel cold brew M&Ms at number 10. Never even knew those existed. Those sound pretty bad, not going to lie. Number 9 with pretzel. Those sound pretty decent. Dark chocolate 8, almond 7, crunchy cookie at number 6. Don't really care for dark chocolate. Almond kind of feels like the same as peanut. Crunchy cookie, cookies and cream kind of. Peanut butter at number 5. Now, here it is. You ready for this? That's my number 1. Peanut butter M&Ms, definitely number 1. You also know what's really good? Those packs of M&Ms they release during the Christmas time that are red and green and they're mint flavored. Those would be number 2 for me. On this list, they have caramel, number 4, fudge brownie at 3, plain M&Ms at number 2, number 1, peanut, which to me, plain and peanut M&Ms, bottom of the list. Don't really care for them. Peanut butter M&Ms, somehow they're better than Reese's Pieces. And Reese's Pieces are essentially peanut butter M&Ms, right? Reese's Pieces, I mean, if you ever tell me you have a Reese's for me and you hand me Reese's Pieces, that I'm going to be a little upset. Not going to lie. Like, Reese's Pieces, no thank you. Reese's Puffs, better than Reese's Pieces. M&M's, top 1, peanut butter, number 2, mint M&M's, hands down. A runaway pumpkin is in custody after leading police on a strange pursuit through an Ohio neighborhood. Police in Parma Heights that were called out to chase down this giant inflatable pumpkin that broke free from a Halloween display rolled through town. The body cam footage shows one of the officers finally catching up to the pumpkin, holding it in place with help from a good Samaritan. The officer is heard saying, "I was pretty much in pursuit." What if they just started shooting at it? You just see the cop. Somebody's gonna make an AI edit of that, and then say, "Put your hands in the air." Those AI edits, those AI videos people are uploading with Sora on Instagram Reels are quite crazy. It'd been funny if the police officer just starts shooting at this inflatable pumpkin, deflates it, ends the chase right then and there. So many jokes would have been made about that online if that were real. All right, let's talk about annoying sounds in the night. There was this whole thing about how there's been a rise of complaints, rising noise complaints due to the popularity of pickleball. Not sure what sounds you get. Maybe the ball getting hit. Maybe somebody grunting. You know, there's the famous tennis grunts. Pickleball is like tennis junior. So I was asking ChatGPT here. I haven't given a name to my ChatGPT. I know Justin from 105 The Hawk down the hall, he calls his Chip. And he'll refer to Chip as his like personal assistant when doing the afternoon show. I was just asking ChatGPT here. The most annoying sounds at night when you're trying to fall asleep. I don't know if there's a lot of pickleball being played at night, but I do know it's like when you're trying to go to bed, especially if you're an early sleeper, you got to wake up early for your job the next day. You got to be up at like 3 a.m, so you go to bed at like 7 p.m., maybe even 6:30. There's some radio people out there that go to bed at like 5 p.m., have to wake up at 1 a.m. It's quite crazy because they got to do the morning show and all that, so there's not a lot of people who are very considerate at all, no matter what time it is. AKA my upstairs neighbors from back in the day, man, they were the worst. Those kids were jumping off everything, shaking the whole building. Now that they're gone, so much nicer. But let's go through this list here. That one mosquito doing flybys past your ear. I mean, I luckily haven't dealt with many bugs in my place. There's a lot of spiders on the outside that I do need to get rid of. I talked about that in a previous Peach's Pit Party episode. You can find that on demand. A dripping faucet, super annoying. Neighbor's dog only finds its voice at 2 a.m. It's kind of like, you know, those parents that say, "Oh, let the kids be kids." Like, "Oh, it can't help itself. It's just a dog. Let it bark." No. If you're in an apartment building, your dog's barking at 2 a.m., take care of it. Random car alarms that go off for 45 seconds, very similar to the old people that just stare at the self-checkout and don't do anything. There are those people that just watch their car alarm go off, and it just keeps going on and on and on. And then eventually it stops, and then you think there's going to be a quiet night after that. Nope, it goes on again. And then luckily it gets turned back off again. Ceiling fan with a loose screw. Goes click, click, click forever. Maybe your significant other snoring. At least for me, all you're going to hear is the CPAP sound. Phone notifications. Do people not put their phone on Do Not Disturb at night? That's what I do immediately. I put it on sleep mode. I don't have any notifications till the morning. I turn it back on and go, okay, who bothered me during the middle of the night? Usually it's somebody like my friend Matt texting the group chat late at night. Maybe it's Maddie finally getting back to my text message. I do need to make sure Maddie's okay. I was looking at all these different posts on Facebook. She decided to go to Montana for the weekend. Hopefully she made it back. I was looking here on Facebook. There's been multiple posts about snowstorms going through Montana. Hopefully they can, Maddie and her friends can get back 100% okay. Anyway, that's enough talking about the annoying sounds during the middle of the night here. Let's go with some Hardy Jim Bob on K-Bear 101. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brenden Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.